Welcome to T-Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 154. And in this one, we are going to be discussing, obviously, that 8-goal thriller. Obviously, in more depth. Obviously, we did do the vlog from home, me and my dad the other day, so do make sure you check that out. If you haven't already, obviously, big up to everyone that did check that out as well. And yeah, like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. Excellent.
Good to hear. Big up to everyone that was waiting in the chat as well. A lot of people liked before we went on, so do appreciate that. And yeah, let's go through some comments quickly. Jackie says, "Hi, Ty does. I'll have to watch tomorrow. Won't be home till late. None of us predicted 4-4 nail biting stuff." No, exactly. No, it's absolutely crazy. No, we did both predict a draw, so we both finally got a point on the little competition me and you are doing, Dad. But yeah, no, not at all. You know, game of the weekend, and there was a lot of good games. You know, every game had goals this week in the Prem Bar. The Bournemouth Forest one that only had 2, but all the other games had goals galore. So yeah, no, absolutely brilliant. Big up to Harry as well. He says, "Evening, mate. Big up to yourself, mate." Big up to David as well. He says, "What a great game. Hope you're both okay, and hope we win on Saturday. Must-win game." Yep, I said it on the watch along I did with Anashe the other day. Briefly discussed it. I cannot stress it enough. Saturday is a must-win game. It is. You look at how they're doing. Even going into the season, it's a game we would have targeted to try and get 3 points anyway, especially being at home against a team that have, also come up as well. So yeah, I cannot stress it enough, especially with how poor they're doing. I do expect them to make it difficult, because they're going to have to, but yeah, I'm not saying, because we've scored 4 goals in the last 2 games, we should be doing that against them, but we should be aiming to win that game and nothing else. Like I said the other day, even if it's a 1-0, we score in the 90th minute, I couldn't care less. Just win the game, honestly. But big up to Luca as well. He says, "Hi, big up yourself, mate." But yeah, let's get into it. So obviously, played Newcastle, as we all know. Like I said, going into it, we were both confident that we'd get a draw, a high scoring draw, not quite as high as it was. Obviously, both said a 2-2. But obviously, the lineup: Kaminsky in goal, Bell, Osho, and Menji as the back 3. Doughty on the left, Chio on the right, Barkley, Lukonga as the more defensive midfielders. And then it was Morris on the left side, Elijah up front, Clark on the right. So it's an interesting lineup to see. A few people said, they felt a little bit sorry for Burke because obviously how well he played in the last game. But then a lot of people are saying, you don't want to, because he is quite injury prone, you don't want to, play him too much. And I hear that, to be honest. And Menji was very good, as we know, against Everton. So it made sense there. But I was surprised, but I wasn't annoyed at all that Clark started. I thought maybe, like I said, going into it, we'd go with the experience in Townsend, especially in a game like this. But Clark, I wasn't disheartened, like I said. Other than that, is expected, really. You look at the bench, we had Berry, Brown, Burke, Chong, Kabore. Obviously, Kabore come back from the AFCON. Krul, Ruddock, Townsend, and Woodrow. So, yeah, that was a lineup. Like I said, I wasn't disheartened with it at all, really. But yeah, your thoughts on the lineup, Dad, when you saw it?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much as we expected. And Clark, I can see why Clark started. At the end of the day, he's part of that squad that got us promoted, and he hasn't really had the chance to. Well, he has had a couple of games, and he's proved that he's decent enough in the league. So, I can fully understand that. As you said, we've got strength on the bench, so it's good to have Townsend and that on the bench, that experience, etc.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. And, it's like I said, I'm not sure if I've said it on the vlog from home, but it shows how far we've come as well, in the sense of, we're having players like Townsend on the bench. When he comes in, you thought he'd start majority of the games, especially in this game as well, taking away, what I just said, in the sense of, it's the type of game you thought he would have played in. Also, the sense he scored, didn't he, in the reverse fixture as well. So, there is that as well. But yeah, moving on to the first half, absolutely crazy. Like you said on the vlog from home, Dad, we started off similar to the Brighton game in the sense of, putting the pressure on them. Nothing quite come off it to start off, early on in the game. Obviously, they did get the first goal. Miley played a good ball over to Trippier, who kept it on, and then obviously played it over to Longstaff. Maybe it could have defended it a bit better. Barkley and Lokonga, but again, I'm not going to be too harsh on them because they've been, phenomenal. Really, especially Ross Barkley. A lot of people are talking about it now. Should he be in that England squad on the Euros? It was only really us Luton fans considering it, but now a lot more people are talking about it. I see it today. But it was a good finish by Longstaff. Kaminsky couldn't really have done much for that. For me, we said that a lot of times this season. But yeah, what did you make of the first goal they got, Dad?
Yeah, well, you get that quality, don't you, in the Premier League? That's the thing, like the pass sprayed out wide like that. It was a little bit slow to react, I guess. We weren't far off defending it, but once there was a number of options in the box as well. So I do feel like Kaminsky possibly could have done better. He definitely had an off day. I remember we put that out there already, like this game. Obviously a good striker in that, but considering we've seen Kaminsky make some excellent saves, we don't expect him to do it every game. I'll say that, but normally I reckon he would have got his hand to that. So it was slightly disappointing, but we've the way we started off the game and that was positive. So I didn't feel that bad when we conceded the first goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I always felt we were, especially with how we started off, we were always going to have our moments, even at their ground. Sometimes they, you go to them type of grounds that if they score early, they you might think that they might shut up shop. But I just felt the way we started off, before that, we was having a chance of getting back in there. Obviously, we did. We made it 1-1. Barkley, and I remember on the set piece, we were saying, come on, as much as he's been absolutely brilliant, set pieces has been a bit of a weaker point from him this season. There was one, like you said, where, I said that he was going to blaze it over. I think it might have been against Everton, and he did. But this game, obviously, it come off. Obviously, he played it in towards Morris, who flicked it on to Osho. Great header by Osho. Gets another goal, crossbar and in. And it's a really good goal and absolute scenes in that away end. But yeah, Dad, what did you make of that goal to make it 1-1?
Yeah, it's good because we kept positive, we kept playing. Again, it was a good free kick this time, and we our set pieces dangerous. And again, this is why last season Morris was vital in them set pieces, because he'd always get on the end of them flick the ball back into the box. I mean, the players, you said, they won't work on it and training day in, day out or whatever. And fair play to Osho again, getting another goal this season. Great header. And we deserved it. So yeah, I was pleased with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously, unfortunately, they took the lead again. Obviously, Gordon got past Osho. And then obviously it was a save by Kaminsky, but sort of where it landed, it was, parried out to Longstaff, who obviously scored again. I don't know how he scored 2 in this game, if I'm being honest. But obviously they took the lead again. Bit of a frustrating one to concede. And as much as I'm not, Kawore's biggest fan, what we did see in the previous game was when Gordon was going forward a couple of times on that left-hand side, there was a moment in the reverse fixture where he made a great tackle. Sliding tackle on Gordon, and I just felt maybe Osho should have tried to went in for a tackle, because he sort of held back a little bit, didn't he, on that? And I felt he could have, went in for it. But it is what it is. Obviously they made it 2-1, and Kaminsky, especially for his standards, like you said, Dad, he had a very off day. Still made some very good saves. Don't get me wrong, but his distribution was very questionable in this game. There was even a time where the ball gets played back to him. Usually, he'd take a touch and then lump it up there, which is the right thing to do, of course. And usually, with a lot of keepers, Even I know a lot of Liverpool fans like it. Alisson, when the ball gets played back to him, they're a bit wary because they know what he's like sometimes. Even Edison, Man City fans, and usually with Kaminsky, I don't usually have that. But this game, I did have that at times. There was a moment where the ball was played back to him. Like I say, usually you take that touch, boot it up there. He sort of took a couple of touches, didn't he? And there was two Newcastle players who gifted him a free corner, and it's a bit frustrating, in this game from him when it comes to that. But yeah, obviously, it was sort of parried out to Longstaff and made it 2-1. And that was a bit of a frustrating goal to concede out of a lot, I'd say. Definitely. But what was your thoughts on that one, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, I show you right, but by the time he probably should have put a tackle in, Gordon was already in the box, and I showed a few times last season, and that was trying to do that, and then he'd get booked or sent off, and things like that. So I can see why he didn't. I've seen Gordon do that exact cut in and shot on a few games. I think, who did he do it against? Was it Tottenham or something recently, when every single goal in the game was good? I can't remember if it was Tottenham, but he
might have been Man City if he scored against them.
I think it might have been Man City. So he scored similar goals. Like him or not, he is a good player. And it was a decent save, but again, you parried it out into the middle. Like, that's the worst thing you can do, I think. So there was an easy finish at the end of the day, because they overloaded the box. But again, we touched on Kaminsky. Like, I think what it is, like, he didn't obviously play in them cup games, and then when he did come back, and when we played, who was it? We played Brighton. He had nothing to do. So, he's earlier on in the season, when with the other games, etc., he was constantly being busy, and that I think that helped him. So I think he's not used to not really having nothing to do, kind of thing. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing. But obviously, I expect him to get better. There was a couple of times earlier on in the season, as we know, he'd done similar things where he put it out for a throw in and then they scored, or he sort of bundled it, didn't really save it well where he could have and stuff like that. So I'm not really that worried. I expect him to be probably on form for the next game, definitely. So yeah, but it's not terrible defending. Any goal you can kind of see generally how it can have been avoided. Do you know what I mean? And their keeper done it later on. Same thing, probably worse. From a weaker shot from Doughty. So, the next goal, I think it might have been actually.
Yeah,
so,
it was. Yeah,
that deep.
Yeah, no, like you say, the next goal, it was very, very similar in that sense. Obviously, Barkley, massive shout out to him on that second goal. The way he won the ball back, he had a little pass to Morris, and then Morris played it back to him. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest of passes, but Barkley, won it, won the ball, brilliant from him. Played it across to Doughty, who tried crossing it in. I wouldn't have said that was a shot. I think he actually tried crossing it in, and then it, obviously,
right, yeah, he tried to cross it into Elijah.
Yeah, that was it. And then obviously keeper parried it out, and Barkley, it's that moment where I was saying, just shoot. He's definitely going to score. A player of that quality, he's not going to spoon it over the bar. And obviously, he did, made it 2-2. And like I say, it all started from him. So, massive shout out to him again. Very, very good in this game. And like I say, one of the weaker points, as much as he's been phenomenal, has been his set pieces. But even in this game, it worked. Obviously, you look at the first goal. So, fair play to him. Fair play to him for sure. And like I say, a lot of us Luton fans are just talking about him for England now. You've got loads of people talking about it now. Should he be in? So they're starting to recognise how well he's doing as well. And he also broke a record. Newcastle's the team he scored the most against in his career as well. So shout out to him. But yeah, what did you make of the second goal, Dad?
Well, yeah, I was glad that he got, again, tenacious working in from midfield, battling and just getting that little nick, touching and carrying the ball forward. He's excellent at that, and he's been excellent at that this season. So, yeah, like when it comes to him, I've no doubt. And he still had time to control it and just make sure that he didn't just snatch at it. And then obviously, heavily involved in the first goal. So, yeah, I was pleased for him. I did say he'd score as well. So
Yeah,
finally he did. You know, and he, you know, he's unlucky last time against them as well, wasn't he? So he didn't
yeah,
deserve
very.
that's what happened. So yeah, great.
Yeah,
You know, what was it? Yeah, great equaliser.
yeah. And like I was going to say, I said to you on the vlog, didn't I? You said Barkley scores, thinking, yeah, he did, didn't you? But obviously, it's not the type of goal we'd expect him to score, but he scored. You know, very happy for him. Like you say, very unlucky not to score in the last game against them as well. Obviously, right after we scored, he had that shot, didn't he? From distance, it was very unlucky. But yeah, that was mainly it from the first half. So you know, the 4 goals, you know, 2 each were the talking points. Then moving on to the second half. The first bit is probably the penalty, which I'm going to get onto. It was definitely a penalty for me. You know, the contact, all right, started outside the box, but when, you know, Chios went down, it was in the box. You know, Byrne was terrible in this game. I thought he got exposed, to be honest. Obviously, he's played left back a lot of times for Newcastle. He's been all right, you know, but this game we just dealt with him pretty well, to be honest. Obviously, you know, we got the penalty. Morris, you know, was the one who took it. Obviously, he had to take it twice. You know, the reasoning was stupid. What is going on? The referee was not watching. You know, obviously we were a bit fuming with that because obviously, you know, he's that's a lot of pressure to take it again, you know, like you said, Dad, and do it all over again. But he went the same way, you know, fair play, and obviously buried it 3-2 up at St James's Park. Absolutely crazy. And yeah, massive shout out to Morris. You know, a lot of people saying he weren't, you know, not us, because I think he was decent against Brighton. He was unlucky, but a lot of people saying he wasn't great. But you know, he's returned and scored in the next game. You know, with a lot of pressure on him, like you say. So yeah, what did you make of the whole penalty incident and the penalty itself?
Yeah, it was definitely a penalty. Yeah, it did start outside the box, but you know he could have pulled his hand away there when he realised that it's just going to get past me. But when you're in that moment, you're trying to get away with it basically, and he nearly did. But you know, he continued into the box, and the thing is, like, he was getting slated and that. But the thing is, Chio would do that to most um, wing backs or whatever defenders in the Premier League. In my opinion, I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it against Trent. I'm sure he was on it a little bit at Man City. So it's not, you know, he's going to do that. He's a proper asset, dangerous player. Like, he's one that we could be struggling to keep. You know, um, but if we stay up, I think we'll be all right. But if we go down, I think there was people who 100% be in massive bids for him in the summer. Um, but yeah, 100% penalty. And yeah, I think, you know, Colton said about penalty, it was loud in there. Like, the ref was just chatting to the, you know, whatever, the players still, making sure that they weren't encroaching in the box, etc. And Morris, like, just put the ball down, and he thought he had heard the whistle basically, so he took it. But then, like I said, you got to take it again. That's a hell of a lot of pressure. You know, I don't think the ref wanted to give a penalty in the first place, to be honest. Like, well, he didn't, did he? So
No, the linesman was waving the flag, but he was sort of hesitant, wasn't he?
yeah, and so for him to do exactly the same, you know, but the keeper probably thought, yeah, he's going to go the other way now. He's going to bottle it, but he didn't, and that's where he scored every single penalty he's took this season. Another goal for Morris. Come on, you know. So yeah, I was really pleased. So there we go, 3-2 up. Similar to the Arsenal game in a lot of ways.
Mm. Yeah, back and forth as well in that sense. But yeah, no, massive shout out to Morris for that. And then obviously we made it 4-2, and we were in dreamland, Dad, like a lot of Luton fans would have been. Obviously we were loving it. You know, absolute limbs out here. It's crazy,
Yeah.
but massive shout out to Bell on that fourth goal. You know, played a really good ball over to Doughty, and then Doughty obviously, you know, played it to short pass to Barkley, and then Barkley saw Elijah with a bit of space and a very well taken finish from Elijah as well. You know, into that bottom left corner, and you know, it's absolute scenes. We were like, wow, this is incredible. You know, because if you're basing it on last season, Newcastle, I'm not saying they will this season, but they are, currently as it stands, if you're basing it on last season, they are top four sides. You know what I mean? They were in the Champions League, and we went there and scored 4 goals. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, really good goal, really good build-up play. Like I say, massive shout out to Bell on that because he started it off. Lovely ball out to Doughty. And then yeah, Ross Barkley, when he got it, he just done the simple thing, which was lay it off to Elijah. Because we've seen in games, there was a moment in the first half as well where he did take a shot, and we were sort of like, why is he taking a shot from there? But this time he done the simple thing, which is see Elijah with space, lay it off to him, boom, 4-2. Absolutely crazy, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, and this is the thing. This is what we like now. We've got that confidence. The players have got that confidence. They're obviously working. What I like is that interchange. It's the second goal in as many games that Barkley's done that, played it into Elijah. I like the way Elijah was offside initially and then just ran back quickly because he knew what was coming. And they've all been working on that in training, guarantee it, because, two games in a row that have done that. And, it's quality as well. It's this, the finishes was good. Great play, like I said, from Bell, Doughty. And yeah, we're fully pumped at that point. But it was because they'd already scored a couple of goals. It was like, yeah, this is different. This didn't feel like the same as like the Brighton game. But yeah, fully deserved. We played well, and that's the thing. Like if we can keep scoring goals, especially away. Is that the first time we scored 4 goals away? As well? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
first time in the top flight since Oxford.
Yeah, so 4 goals first time in Premier, and then immediately after that, yeah, we conceded 4. But both defenses and that were a bit off. It was just a great game. It's just one of them things. Don't listen to certain pundits, so-called pundits out there. Always just, most pundits are coming back and backtracking on what they've said. And right? But certain people, or certain one person is just like, no, they've always got to try and throw in a dig and just make some ridiculous comment. But score 4 goals, like you should be winning. Okay. Yeah, I did say to you, we've scored 4 goals. We definitely shouldn't be losing. 4 goals away. But that's with any level of football, let alone the Premier League. It happens. Other teams have when Newcastle scored 4 goals at home against the team that you said we'd be down by Christmas. Why? Instead of worrying about whether we can stay up, should worry whether their season's going to go to shit because they should have beat us. And some of their fans think the same. But what they don't understand is the base that you can see how we've developed now. And how we're going on, and that's it. A lot of people, genuine people, is like, yeah, fair enough, can't knock them. Even Shearer, we took 4 points off of them this season. So what are you waffling on about, mate? Do you know what I mean? Just diabolical. But carry on because it gives the team motivation. They'll have to see that or laughing at it and stuff, and just continue to prove them wrong. And what also like. Slightly different, but Rob Edwards, the fact that he's saying he's not working off the table with the deductions, he's working off a table without Everton getting any deductions. So before this game, even though we was out of the relegation zone in his table, we wasn't, and that's the best way to do it. Just play it without them deductions. Even if Nottingham Forest if they get their deduction, just ignore that. You can't be complacent. You cannot be complacent. And that's why we said earlier that the next game, Sheffield United, you can kind of expect to win it. And the way we've been playing, let's be honest, we're playing at home, we do expect to win it. To win it, you've still got to maintain that performance. And I think if you maintain that performance, there's no way we're losing that game because I just don't think unless they just suddenly turn up and we just suddenly just not play at all, like we don't want to stay up, I just can't see them beating us. All their players have got to be on point. And I just don't think their manager's like right for the job, really. you know, the last game, he didn't even start Hamer. What you do is like one of the principal players at the club, starting him, signed, maybe not by you, but you know, his real quality. I would have had him in our team. You know what I'm saying? So that's like us going, yeah, we won't start Barkley. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know he's but even initially before he started getting into the form and that, because the first couple of games he weren't great, was he? We persisted with him. So we brought him on against Gillingham, or we played the whole game and things like that.
He'd come on against Gillingham. I was like, wow.
So I just we deserve to take the lead.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Well,
and then obviously, go on.
Have 2-goal lead, and then if that was against other teams, maybe, if that was at home against, say for instance Sheffield United, then you would be fuming if it ended up 4-4. But away against a team that you've beat once, I think, away in the league, or never, then I think that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously they got back into it. Now this was probably their best goal, if I'm being honest, that they scored in this game. It's some people say, "Oh, Morris could have dealt better," but he's a striker. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you really expect him to sort of do there? It was a good ball by Guimaraes, who was, obviously rolling around, doing what he loves to do. But it was a good ball. Can't lie, outside of the boot to Trippier. Again, very frustrating, Trippier, this game. He was doing a few tackles, and I was like, whoa, you need to relax, mate. Went there a moment where he took out Bell, and I was like, whoa, what's he doing that for? It's Bell or Osha, it's one of the two. And I was like, chill out, mate. You could tell he was getting a bit rattled, but it was a good goal, to be honest. Probably their best goal, like I say. It was a good cross. It was a good finish as well, first time. Right into the corner. I don't think Kaminsky could have done an awful lot with that. Now, maybe you could say we could have defended it a little bit better, but I just think it was a good bit of play that, these teams have, really. But yeah, what did you make of that third goal they got?
Same, isn't it? Real quality, from the guy. Yeah, he did his typical, that's what you get in the Premier League, rolling around, like looking for a penalty every 5 minutes. Just chill out in that box, we'll go and attack, mate. You can just get up. Great cross, and then Morris potentially could have done better, but Kieran Trippier running him, he didn't see him initially until it was kind of he was on him, and like I say, he's not a defender. Trippier is one of the best players in the world. Let's be honest. He still nearly got to it, but that's what happens. The quality, and we've got to be more switched on. It is what it is. It weren't a silly goal to give away. It's just and they have got decent players in their team, so it's going to happen. The more you've got a team, and someone turns it on like that, there's sometimes not a lot you can do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously they had a bit of confidence, that they could get back into it. Obviously they did. I did think that was a foul, and I said that initially. Even before I looked at the replays and that, I said that to you. I thought it was a foul. There was times, I'll be honest, like a Bell moment, which we did say where, he was sort of, holding the ball a little bit, a bit of obstruction. We was like, come on, like, just get up sort of thing. But this one was definitely a foul. I said that to you first time, looking at it on Barkley, and, basically turned and then, like, their player caught him. I can't remember who it was, but it was definitely a foul for me. And then Harvey Barnes, again, a player I've always rated, obviously got their equaliser. Good finish. But I do think it was a foul, to be honest. And I don't know how VAR didn't look at it, considering the goal led to it. But yeah, what did you make of that equaliser they got?
I've seen it a few times. Like, it went just out. I think also, like, the tackle on Bell looked like a foul as well to me. I'm sure, but the Barkley one, I'd say it probably was. But like I say, a referee just didn't want to give anything in certain situations. That's what it felt like. But again, after that, you got to kind of deal with it. And it was a shot from outside the box and out. But again, I think Kaminsky could have probably done better with that as well. So that was disappointing, and then we was kind of holding on, but we done out, and then we had a few chances at the end as well. So
Yeah, Chio had a chance, at the end. Tried to keeper, but it was unlucky.
yeah,
But yeah, 4-4 in the end. We knew it was going to be a high scoring game, not as high as that, but we'll take the draw. We'd have took it going into it, like you said, Dub. We took 4 points off of Newcastle. It was still a very good side. Let's not forget that they were in Europe at the start of the season and the Champions League, not Europa League. They're in the Champions League, so we take that all day. St James's Park. I said it going into it. It's one end grounds. I'd put it up there, one of the toughest, alongside Anfield, Etihad. All of them places for sure. So I'll take that all day long. Especially with a performance like that. Going forward, we look to immense every single time. Defensively, a few times we could have done a bit better, like we said, but overall we take that. We take that 8 goals in the last 2 games. As well. So, no, phenomenal. And obviously, big up to our fans that travelled as well. Obviously very loud, throughout. All I really heard was our fans, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, massive credit to the travelling fans and that as well. But, yeah, let's go through some comments. There's a lot of people who've been writing in comments, which we do appreciate. So, big up. Big up to Paul. He says, good evening, lads. Big up to yourself. Big up to Stephen, says big up Ty, big up Daz, big up yourself. No, 100%, mate. 100%. A lot more players as well, but they're definitely, especially Elijah at the moment, what's that, 4 goals in 2 games. He's definitely, and the thing about Barkley as well, earlier on he was still getting to grips. That's why he wasn't as good, with match fitness and, sharpness and all that. So, and Chio's just, to think of that as our first signing as well, and he's just kicked on, hasn't he? He's been absolute quality. Jamie is obviously a Sheffield United fan. He says, Luton 5-0 win. Jeez. I mean, like I say, we do need to approach it as a must win, and I hear why you're saying it, because you guys have been terrible, but me personally, I do think it probably will be closer than that, because I do think you guys will make it difficult, and you try and hit us on the break and that type of thing, but it's going to be interesting. Like I say, it's a must win. And I'll be honest, it might sound arrogant, but if we do draw, I will be disappointed. I'll be honest. Especially, it's like Harry says. Where's the comment? Let me find it. Yeah, here it is. Great thing for you lot. Everton away at City on Saturday, so you'd back City to win that. And Forest have got Newcastle. I mean, you never know because it's at the City ground, but Newcastle, they need to sort of, capitalise really and start winning games. So it's like you say there, it's one of them. But yeah, I agree on that. Big up to Mile Hotspur. He says, big up my homies. Have a wicked Tuesday, fellas. You too, mate. Big up yourself for tuning in. I agree on that, Harry. Big up to Alex as well. Shows how many points Kaminsky must have saved Blackburn last season as well to give them a chance of nearly getting in the playoffs. Blackburn now being 18th in the Championship's absolute madness. To be honest, it is. They are very inconsistent over the years in the Championship, but 18th, I know that's crazy, really. They have got some good players. Smodic's a very good player. They've got a few good players, and it is mad to see. But yeah, the only reason Kaminsky, got thrown out was because he got injured. So maybe if that didn't happen, we might not have even had it. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it still would have, but I don't know. Luton have been amazing to watch lately. Hope they keep scoring. Oh yeah, for sure. And by the way, Elijah's on 9 goals now. So he's literally 1 goal off double figures, which he will do. So yeah, big up to him for that. Big up to Wace as well. Big up to yourself, mate. Big up to Lewis as well. He says, evening, big up yourself. No, exactly. All I could hear was us, to be honest. And I did see a Newcastle fan, actually. He did say he reckons Luton fans, obviously this is just opinions by fans, but he said our fans are probably the best set that have gone to their ground. So, fair play. So, yeah. That is that. But yeah, moving on. to the player ratings. So obviously we'll start off with Kaminsky. Not the greatest of games. Like I said, he did make 2 really good saves in this game. There was one where it hit his face, put your body on the line, and then there was another one that was decent, but his distribution was not great. Like I said, there was a moment in the first half where he gifted him a free corner, and we have seen better from him. So I'm gonna go over 6 because he still made some good saves.
Yeah, I'll agree 6. With what the points we've already discussed, basically. So yeah, 6. I expect to get better.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. And then moving on we'll go over to Bell. Like I say, massive shout out to him for the 4th goal. Brilliant ball over to Doughty, and I thought he played pretty well again in that left centre back role. He was, he got fouled quite a few times, like you said, Dad, on the goal one. Like I said as well, that moment with Trippier, and Trippier took him out, but he still played really well in this game. He's really kicking on to be established in that centre back role for now. So for me, I'm going to say Bell. I'm going to go. No, what? I'll go over 7.5 for Bell.
Yeah, I thought he was decent. Not as involved potentially as he was against Brighton. He did have some, at the back. It's just like, get rid of it. Like, stop trying to. I think there was one where he sort of fell on the ball and was expecting a foul, and he's just like,
yeah.
That. So, but yeah, it wasn't too bad from Bell. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Big up to everyone doing their ratings as well. Harry's gone with a 6. Yeah, fair enough. And Kaminsky agrees. 6.5 says Paul. Fair enough. Harry says 7 for Bell and a 7.5 for Bell. Moving on to Osho. Obviously, he got the first goal. He did get a card in this game. Can't really remember it on the top of my head, if I'm being honest. I think it was minor because I can't really remember it. But yeah, good goal. I thought he defended pretty well. In this game. Throughout the game, really, there was maybe a few moments, but it wasn't him as as the defense as a whole, really. So for me, Osho, I'll go with 7 for Osho.
Yeah, I think it's maybe the thing, the Gordon situation, but again, we've seen Gordon do that against Man City, so off a little bit, I guess, and he did score, so I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, that's exactly what Harry's gone with as well. Paul's gone with an 8 for Osho, and then moving on to Menji. Obviously, good to see him back in. Obviously, it's only a minor injury in the last game. But yeah, I thought he was decent. Obviously, it wasn't a standout compared to what we have seen from him, like the Everton game, for example. But he was still okay. Again, I'll probably go with another 7.
Yeah, I think just 7. Don't think he was as good as he has been, but he's played a hell of a lot of games recently. He's still young. He's only 20. So, and Burke, I think because Burke's been playing decent when he's come on. Let's be honest. But Menji's more. He doesn't bring the forward. He does bring it forward a couple, not as much as Bell though. Like he's they're probably they were quite equal in certain ways. I think Menji's like the better. Probably, I'd say he's probably comes across as a slightly better defender. I'm not saying Burke's not good at defending because we know he is, but I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, fair enough. Menji 8 says Paul. Harry's gone with a 7 as well. And then moving on we'll go over to Chio. It's tight. It's tight between my man and match. I'll be honest, he's up there. He is definitely up there. Obviously, he earned the penalty. He had that chance to make it 5-4. It was unlucky. He was causing havoc. Even from the Brighton game, I see on Monday Night Football they're actually talking about him as well. So yeah, he's been absolutely phenomenal. And it's like you said, Dad. It's like Harry said. One of the top 6 teams will be looking at him if he continues this. He's been absolutely phenomenal. But his rating in this game, like I say, he's up there for man of the match. I'll go with I'll go with an 8.5.
Yeah, Yeah, it was definitely a very good performance from him. But there's a couple of other ones that I think were more in my mind because he always looks dangerous as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So kind of, I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Menji, a class defender. Yeah, it goes back to that video we did, mate. Obviously, where you said about Menji being back was massive for you guys at the time, and now thinking that's pretty crazy because now he's, obviously at us and he's been very good for us. So yeah, for sure. Doughty 7.5. Obviously we'll move on to Doughty in a second. Chio 9. So fair enough, Paul. And then Chio 9 as well from Harry. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, moving on to Doughty. Paul's give us his exclusive rating on Doughty. Mine, obviously he played really well. His link-up play was very good. Obviously with Ross Barkley in this game as well. So yeah, Doughty. Do you know what? I'll go with another 8.5.
Really?
You going higher?
No, I don't. I thought he was decent. But again, not as involved as some of the others. When he was away and that, and he got subbed off as well. I'm going to give him 7.5.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously that's what Paul went with as well. Harry's on the same wavelength to me. He's gone with 8.5 for Doughty. So yeah, fair enough there. And then moving on to the midfield, we'll start off with Lukonga. He's pretty decent in this game. Another decent performance from him. Again, he got a yellow card. I don't think I can really remember it, if I'm being honest. Again, so I think it was only minor, really. Yeah, he was decent. He's decent again. I'm going to go Lukonga. I'll go with 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. Yeah, and he's looking established. His passing's good. He's sort of doing the Nakamba role, really, isn't he? At certain times. Winning the ball, like hungry for the tackle. Just quite pretty reliable, to be fair to him. And I think he's trying to get in the Belgium squad, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He might be on the fringes of that, possibly, probably, because the European teams are slightly better. I think that picking, not going well. He plays for Luton, so I'm not going to pick him, kind of thing. So yeah, I think he's probably got a chance. 7.5.
Yeah, Paul's gone with 8.5. Harry's gone with 8. And then moving on to Barkley, like I say, he's getting a lot of applause at the moment. Should he be in the England team? A lot of us Luton fans are saying it for a while, but now other people are starting to recognise, how well he's doing. I do think personally he should be in it instead of Henderson and Phillips, but he won't be because obviously Henderson's one of Southgate's favourites, and same with Phillips, even though the guy's rarely played, and literally come in for West Ham the other day, done a mistake straight away. But there we go. And I think he cost them on the third goal as well against Man United, if I can remember rightly. But there we go. But yeah, brilliant from him in this game again. He is my man of the match. I'm going to give him man of the match in this game. Obviously, he scored, and he done really well on a lot of the goals. Got an assist for Elijah, obviously on the fourth goal as well. So yeah, he is my man of the match. As for a rating, I'm going pretty high for Ross Barkley. Not quite double figures, but I'm going to give him a 9.5.
Yeah, I agree. He's also my man in the match. As you say, two assists, pretty much. Really well, good free kicking, dangerous free kicking. Obviously, Morris got the assist for that. Scored the goal. Was calm. Unlucky with like their equaliser. Let's be honest. But just bossing the midfield a little bit, giving us that calmness on the ball. And that really, we did talk about at the beginning of the season, if he's like peaking and stuff and playing at his best of his ability, even not he's expecting to play this well, let's be honest, we thought he'd do decent, that he would help the rest of the team, and that's exactly what's happening. So, yeah, man of the match for me as well. He's probably smashing up that man of the match at the moment. Yeah, 9.5.
Yeah. No, he was really good. Harry says Barkley 9. Same with Paul. No, because he's signed a long-term contract. Apparently, it hasn't been said specifically how long it is because we don't usually do that. But
Expect it to be whether we get relegated or not. That's what I'm thinking.
yeah, probably so. So yeah, and then moving on to Clark. Decent. He was decent in this game. Can't think of much, wrong from him. I'm just going to go Clark. I'm going to go 7.5.
I'm just going to give him 7 for it. He was all right. But again, not as involved as he was in the previous game. He was a bit unlucky in that game. But he got a start, done all right. He come off as well. I should give him a 7.
Yeah. Paul's gone with 7.5 for Clark. Harry's gone with an 8. And then moving on to, we'll go over to Morris. Obviously, brilliant composure, considering he had to take the penalty twice, like we said. And, he's pretty good in this game. It seems like on that left side, he is being a lot more effective. So fair play to him. As for a rating, I'll go with an 8 for Morris.
I'll give him about 8.5. I thought he was close at one of just getting better. He's getting back up to his confidence back and that. Involved in the first goal. Like I say, the penalty twice as well. Placed it. Just confident as well. It's good to see him and Elijah together in the team. It's really, really working, as I said. And I know other people said, yeah, but if one of them gets in, it's true potentially. But on the flip side to that, we have been playing with one or the other. So it'd have to take both of them to get injured, and then I think we could put Chio up front if we needed to. So let's not think of the negatives, but yeah, 8.5. I thought Morris was really good.
Yeah, Paul's gone with an 8 for Morris, and so has Harry. And then moving on to the last player out, the starting 11, obviously Elijah. Got another goal, like I say, very well taken finish. Very effective in this game once again. Elijah's rating for me, I'm gonna go over 8.5.
Yeah, I think he was good. Not as good, obviously. He can't follow that last performance, but he was still good. He still got another goal, and I don't think he's scored in 3 consecutive games yet. Has he? He had that opportunity when, unfortunately, against Bournemouth. I don't think he has. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if he scores against Sheffield United, then he will have, and he will be the first player to do that. First player to get a hat trick since the first player to score in 3. Because I don't think he's quite got that. If he has, no one's really talked about it, and there was before. So I think that'll happen. Like say, he gets 10th goal, he'll definitely go. I reckon he could get 15. That ain't bad. I'll tell you what, if he can get 15 goals for his first season in the Premier League, mate, that ain't bad at all. And I rate him. Won't go into proper detail, but I'll rate him. So yeah, I'll give him an 8 for this game.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Harry's gone with a 9. Paul's gone with an 8. And then moving on to the subs, we'll start off with Ruddock. Obviously, he made 4 out of 5 changes in this game. Ruddock, he obviously come on for Clark. Thought it's okay. Holding on the ball a few times. Tried going forward a few times. Ruddock, I'm gonna go. The thing is, the subs in this game, I don't feel, compared to what we have seen, they're as effective as we know they can be. But Ruddock, I'm going to go 6.5.
I slightly differ on that. Like out of the subs that were made, like I feel Ruddock he had a shot. Do you remember he had a shot? I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
But Trippier fouled him and didn't like the fact that he'd fouled him. I could see that. He was just enjoying it. He was just doing the basics right, coming on and just being involved. He's happy to do that. And if he gets the opportunity to score, but like I said, keep saying before, get a chance to get a penalty with 3-0 up or whatever, I'm gonna take it. Do you know what I mean? So I reckon essentially, like I said, it's easy to say, but I reckon he could probably score against Sheffield United. Like if we turn up in the first half and that, we can just bring him on, and I'd love to see him just score, one of his screamers. But yeah, I thought he's accepted. Like that he's not really going to be starting at the moment and things like that. Even with Nakamba injured as well, because of the way the other players are performing as well. So I'll give him 7.
Yeah, that's fair enough. 15 goal. Yeah, no, absolutely. I even said that to you earlier, didn't I? As well. So yeah, no, for sure. Pelly Ruddock go. Yeah, no, 100%. Ruddock 7. Yeah, no, fair enough. Same as you, Dad. Same with Paul. And then moving on to Brown. Now, I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know if he should have come on. Because you have players like Chong, Townsend. Either of them, I feel, would have been more ideal, especially if Brown just coming back. He wasn't great when he come on. I'll be honest. Give the ball away a few times and it just weren't great. He was on the floor, and it's just like, come on, like just get on with it, sort of thing. It was a bit frustrating when Brown come on in this game. I'm going with 5.5.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like you can't, when they come on and they don't get really involved, they don't put a foot wrong, and you give them a 6 generally. Yeah, but he weren't great. He didn't affect the game at all in a positive way. Don't know if maybe he's a little bit frustrated that he got injured and now he's struggling to get back into the team. But also the fact that I felt like a Townsend would definitely be coming on.
Yeah.
Or at least Chong, like you say. So, yeah, come on, but he didn't affect the game in a positive way. But it just weren't great. Giving the ball away, like I say, going fouls, looking for stuff, and yeah, 5.5.
Yeah, it was great. From Brown, one. 6. Paul's gone with Brown. Same with Harry. Chongi needs to come off the bench more. No, I agree. The standout game of when you see it was obviously the Liverpool game. And I do feel he is better to use it as an impact player because he did, all right, he was still gelling with the team, but he did start a lot of games at the start of the season. And I just feel he wasn't as effective as we know he can be when he comes on in games. Like the standout games taken away, Liverpool won Burnley at home. When him and Elijah come on in that game, they were phenomenal. But obviously Elijah's now cemented his place. And Chong will want to try and do that, but I just feel we should bring him on a lot more for sure, because he's seen the impact he has made at times. So yeah, there you go with that. And then moving on to Burke. Obviously, Burke come on the same time as Brown. Can't really remember too much from Burke. Obviously, they were, like you said earlier, they're putting a bit of pressure on us, after they got that goal to make it 4-4. But yeah, I thought, I couldn't really think of much right or wrong. So I'm going to go for 6 for Burke.
Yeah, same 6 for him and 6 for Woodrow as well.
Yeah. Obviously, Woodrow is the last one as well. So yeah, let's go through your ratings on them. Harry says 6.5 for Burke. Woodrow 6.5. Says Paul. So there you go with that. And then Harry's got Woodrow 6. Harry also says Chong 24. If you stay up, massive season for him next season. Really needs to push himself and push on at age 25, 26, 24 right now. Yeah, no, for sure. Hopefully he gets some opportunities, like I say, to start more, because he has made impacts at times this season. I just feel, especially with Brown just coming back, I just wasn't too sure on that, especially like you said, Dad, we sort of expected Townsend to at least come on, because of his experience to try and help the team see it out as well for me in this game. And, Chong, like I say, the impact he's made at times. Even if one of them come on and the other one didn't, I wouldn't have been as phased, because I know they both do all right when they come on. But Brown, I wasn't convinced with Brown, to be honest. But there you go. They are the player ratings. So obviously, a man of the match is both Ross Barkley and Dad, like you say, he is flying ahead on this thing now. So the votes as it stands, Kaminsky's on 1 vote, Barkley's on 7, Doughty's on 2, Lukonga's on 3, Chong's on 2, Osho's on 1, Chio's on 1, Menji's on 2, Elijah's on 2. So that's how it is at the moment. Obviously, points, like I say, me and you both got our first point in the competition thing we're doing. Both obviously predicted a 2-2. So yeah, both got a point there. But yeah, Harry also agrees, man of the match, Barkley 100%. But yeah, that is that. Harry, you did also say earlier, I was going to go into it now, Great point. Bet you would have took that last season when Newcastle were tearing teams apart. To take the
Yeah.
lead the way you did as well was really impressive. To hold on to the point, fair play. No, I agree. To hold on to it with the pressure they were putting on us, I'll take that. For sure. We both said, draw going into it, so we would have took that anyway. And like I said, it is one of them grounds still, that's very difficult to go to. Even, you see it when Liverpool, top sides went there. Liverpool, they won 2-1, but it wasn't easy, was it? It was right near the end. And City, a couple of weeks before that, narrowly won there as well. So, we got a draw there, so I'll take that and 4 goals, take that all day, every day, really. As long as, like you said, that when we had 4 goals, as long as we didn't lose, then it's not as bad really in that sense, especially going 4-2 up. So yeah, but Dad, any final things you'd like to say about anything before we wrap up?
Yeah, like about that, the fact that we scored 4 goals. When Garth Crooks has said, I worry about their ability to stay up. They scored 4 goals away. You should be winning. How many other teams scored 4 goals at Newcastle? It's just do and the game before that, we scored 8 goals in 2 games, mate. So what? Just ridiculous comments. But it's just funny watching him squirm because he knows deep down that we probably will end up staying up, and he's just trying to he's just trying to be a bit stubborn, really. But he's really got egg. He had as soon as he made the comment initially, the initial first comments, he was chatting absolute nonsense, and we knew that. But it was the arrogant way that he just I can't take him serious. Total disrespect, and that's just. Wait, you're not saying nothing about any other teams.
Yeah.
What I say, you say anything about Sheffield United? Paul ain't even got the match derby's points record yet.
That's true.
You're saying nothing about them. Burnley, you probably tipped to finish mid-table or whatever. Not having that season, you're not saying nothing. You obviously got a little agenda or whatever. It's embarrassing, but it is going to spur certain players on that they're just laughing at it now. But he will. The meme's already out there, quite funny. But they're just going to get worse, even funnier. And he must see them, and that's why he's doing it as well. And I never really gave him too much heed and credence in that before. Like when I used to watch him on BBC Sport, like Gold Rush or whatever it was on that channel. But I'd still even thought then that he was a bit like a knob, to be honest with you. Like some of the stuff he used to come out with, not just against other teams as well. Like he just used to come out with, like Lee Dixon comes out with just negative crap.
Yeah.
Or he should have scored out, or and I was thinking, yeah, you've done all right at Arsenal and that, but you weren't like a flipping, in my opinion.
Well beater.
Yeah, like. And it's just irritating. You get them. Why do you think he got removed from FIFA? Lee Dixon. That monotone, just annoying voice, So yeah, carry on, mate. And he knows as well. It basically he's praying that we mess up and stuff like that. But the perfect opportunity, and what we would have took 100% at the beginning of the season. You go into this month, February. Yeah, coming towards the business end of the season, you're playing Sheffield United at home or at bottom. Your safety, ignore the points deduction, totally ignore that. You've got a chance of going there. The other teams are playing, Everton are playing, this, that, and the other. You take that all day long. It's like, and what Merson said it as well, treat it, it's like an FA Cup fight. It is like the biggest game of the season. Forget anyone else we've played like this. And I'm sure they're being told that, and they'll know that anyway. You don't want to put too much. They won't put too much pressure on themselves at the same time. Oh, we got to win this. But then also you've got to think, even if you do win that game, your work's not done. Because you've got Man United after that at home. I think.
Yeah, it's the Man United.
They are actually picking up a little bit. Let's be honest.
Annoyingly.
But again, like at home, expect us to give them a game, like we have everyone else. So, if we're still if we can get a little bit of a gap, even a little bit of a gap, by like end of March, then I think we've got a good chance as it stands now. But by then, the pundits are saying, yeah, you need to win about 5 more games. And if you think about it, and I think that'll put you on like 38 points, saying, or I don't know, whatever. But I think we could easily win 5 more games.
Yeah, because a lot of the games we've got coming up as well are games that you would have targeted at the start of the season, like Forest at home, Bournemouth at home. We've still got to play Bournemouth twice as well. Let's bear that in mind. Sheffield United. Yeah, it's a few games.
The way we've been playing, like we would have to go on a shit run not to win any more games. You beat Sheffield United. You're saying we need to win 5 games. Beat Sheffield United. Well, that's 4 games in. Like, I don't know, 10 games to go or whatever it is. Less than that, or more than that. So, yeah. But we know, we called it. Like, the people have come up to me at my workplace initially, before we'd even signed anyone. Do you think you stay up? So, yeah, we said it, didn't we? Where do you think you finished? We said 17th, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, I did, yeah. No, you did, yeah.
That's how it's going currently. We had faith, yeah, and we knew it'd be tough, and it was, and it has kind of panned out the way we said it would. So it'd have to go disaster long. Other teams are looking, there's point deductions looming over. Palace apparently have got their 2 best players injured. They ain't looking. Brentford are doing a bit poor at the moment. I think part of that is that Ivan Toney thing, to be honest with you. The way when they made him captain and
I don't.
He got banned and that. But at the end of the day, that's detrimental to your club, regardless. Do you know what I mean? Like, we wouldn't have that at our club because we don't even bet in.
And the thing is, he's come out and disrespected the club not once.
Well,
3 times.
There's no way he'd be made captain.
No.
But if any Luton player said "fuck Luton," they would not be captain, or they shouldn't be. It'd be, so. And Forest as well. Yeah, done all right. I think they got a good result the other day, and the manager sort of steer things. They've got cover. They could do all right, but I think if they do get a points deduction, that'll affect them massively. So, yeah, I think it's all looking good. We've got Sheffield United next, so yeah.
Yeah, and it's also Brentford as well. They got Wolves away, which is not going to be easy. Because Wolves obviously just went to Chelsea and scored 4. Yeah, all right, Chelsea are, not great, but still, no one would have expected that. So that's not going to be easy. And also their last home game, Wolves, I watched it, was obviously the Man United game. They were very unlucky in that game. In the second half anyway. I didn't watch first half, to be honest, but second half they were very unlucky not to win that. Oh, sorry, get a result out of that, sorry. But yeah, they're not great. They're not great. Some of the stuff he says and all. I don't know what he waffles. I think he said the Villa Park atmosphere is better than Anfield or something.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Barkley's probably already had more England appearances than that guy did. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he probably has.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%, mate. 100%. Harry says, Man United is only hard, in my opinion, if Garnacho, Højlund and Mainu are on it. Otherwise, you beat it. Well, that's the thing. The youngsters that have come to Kenilworth Road have struggled. Like Miley from Newcastle, he struggled. I know Mainu's done very well. I'm not really phased about him, to be honest. The Garnacho, a little bit, because he's a good player out wide. He can, especially if you see like the likes of what Gordon was doing. Maybe there. Højlund, if we double up on him or mark him well, like I know we can, then I'm not too phased. Garnacho is probably the one more so for me out of them 3, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we'll see. Wolves 2-0 against Brentford, maybe 2-1 win because Tony will probably score. Maybe. Then I wouldn't be surprised if Wolves drew that game or something. It just would be typical. But like I say, if Wolves do win, again, that's another game. If we win, we go above Brentford and all. Because they're only 2 points off us, at the moment. So this weekend, like you say, Dad, we need to capitalise on it. Obviously, not put too much pressure on the players, but like you said, they'll know that this is massive, and it's like Merson said, it is like a cup final. It is. Even at the start of the season, we had targeted this game as a 3 points anyway. This game at home, Burnley at home, and maybe a few of the others like Bournemouth, Forest. We still got to play at home, by the way. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that is that. That is that for the Hat Show. So big up to everyone that has tuned in. We'll be back again on Friday, and we will have a Sheffield United fan on. So yeah, do tune into that. Same time again, 6 p.m. And then Dud will be back again with another vlog from home. Obviously on Saturday, and then yeah, we'll do a Hat Show a few days after or something. And then yeah, big week when we play Man United. Me and Harry should be doing a watch along. So yeah, and then also on the Saturday, I will be doing a neutral vlog. Not Saturday, next day, because we decided we're going to go to Leighton Orient versus Burton Albion. Nice. So that's going to be interesting. So we're going to see how George Bonker does that. You know what I mean? I'm going to see how he does. And it'll be a good game. Be a good game. You know, Leighton Orient come up, doing very well actually, 9th in the league. Burton are trying to stay up. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, a lot of content coming up on T-Boys TV. So do check that out. And obviously do check out the vlog from home as well if you haven't already from the other day. And do subscribe to the extra channel as well. A lot of shorts will be coming out on there over the next couple of days. So yeah, do check them out. And like I say, I'll be back again on Friday with another Hat Show. So do check that out. So yeah, smash a like if you haven't already. We are currently on 12 likes, so big up yourselves. I know we did gain a new subscriber as well in this stream, so do appreciate that as well. And like I say, do subscribe to the extra channel. Link to that is in the description. Obviously, Nightbot puts it in the chat as well. And if you do want to follow me across any of my socials, obviously link to them are all in the description. And yeah, that is that. So until Friday, we'll see you lot in a bit. Also, if you are interested, I did put my FA Cup replay 4th round predictions out yesterday on a community post. So do check them out as well. And yeah, do put in your predictions there as well. And then obviously on Friday as well, after the Hat Show, I'll put out my whole Premier League predictions. And like I say, it's going to be interesting because obviously if we do win, we can go, and Brentford don't win, go above them. A lot of teams around us have got difficult games. So it'll be interesting to see what I predict. So yeah, big up yourselves. Until next time, take care and peace.